Welcome to my channel on the best of fantasy. These are the weeks that were, are, and shall be. Let's begin with an announcement about a sale of the Adan trilogy and While Darkness Gathers. This is to celebrate the imminent release of the audiobook for Return to Adan, the third book in the Adan trilogy, as narrated by Alan Walker. Yes, I am hoping that Return to Adan, the audiobook, will be out in December. So that is something to celebrate, and we're going to have a sale on all four books, the Adan trilogy, plus While Darkness Gathers. The ebooks will all be 99 cents for the duration of the sale. It's going to run from December 1st at 8 a.m. Eastern Time until the end of December 4. So once again, December 1 to December 4, all four ebooks are going to be 99 cents. And the sale is good in the United States and in the United Kingdom. Those are the only places that Amazon allows me to set up the sale. But I'm told that people have been able to take advantage of the sale in other countries in the past, so hopefully that is the case. But yeah, I'm excited about the audiobook, and that will complete the Adan trilogy. Alan will also be narrating While Darkness Gathers, and I'll let you know more about that when the time comes. So let's talk about what I've been up to on the channel. I have been up to some good things. I had a discussion of what actually has turned out to be one of my favorite reads of this year, and that was the Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn by Tad Williams, which was a reread for me, and I got to discuss the trilogy that is a tetralogy with my good friend Nikhil from Shelf Esteem, and that was a discussion that I hosted. Had a wonderful time just gushing. We had been part of a bigger group, a big buddy read that was set up by Aaron at Booked and Busy. But the two of us had planned to discuss this series with each other, and we decided to go ahead and do that. And we had a great time. Nikhil is just a wonderful human being, and it's such a privilege to call him a friend. He's also, by the way, the composer behind the theme song for the Adan trilogy. If you haven't checked that out, what are you waiting for? It's on the homepage for my channel. Blessed Be the Eternal. Also, my daughter Rohana plays the cello for it, so another reason to check it out. Plus, it's just beautiful. But yeah, I had a great time chatting with Nikhil about Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn. I loved the ending. It was a reread for me, but I just had such a great time. It was a long time since I read it the first time, and I knew that I would love it because I remember loving it the first time, and my tastes really haven't changed all that much. It's classic fantasy. It's the tropes that I love, but done in a way that is just so skillful and with some interesting takes on those tropes as well. But the ending, particularly to Green Angel Tower, for me, the last several hundred pages were just brilliant and very emotional and very fulfilling. Fantastic read. So yeah, it was great to get back to Austin Ard, and I do intend to continue in that world with Nikhil. We're going to read the sequel series starting in January. So yeah, lots of good things to come. Also on the channel, I had a ranking of 4 of the SPFBO champions. Now, this is for the Champion of Champions contest for SPFBO. SPFBO being the self-published fantasy blog off the contest that Mark Lawrence started in order to shine a light on wonderful self-published fantasy. I've been a judge for that for the last 3 years, and what we're doing this year is pitting the 10 past champions against each other to find out which one is the champion of champions, and they're really all fantastic books. But I did release my quick reviews of Orconomics, The Grey Bastards, The Lost War, and The Thief Who Pulled on Trouble's Braids. Those 4, and I ranked them in my ranking from 1 to 10, and I have 3 left to go in that duty as a judge. It will be my last time, though. For SPFBO, I have let Mark Lawrence know that I am no longer going to be a judge for SPFBO. I'm going to continue reading lots of self-published fantasy. I have a ton of it right here on my shelves that has been waiting for me. And since I've been a judge the last 3 years, it hasn't been easy to get into other self-published fantasy because I've just been reading a lot for SPFBO, which has been wonderful. But I have people who sent me books and whatnot, and I really want to get to those. So I am stepping down as a judge. I will be continuing to follow the contest closely and supporting it in ways that I can. because I think it is a wonderful thing. It is the best contest out there. If you're a self-published fantasy author, it is something you should try to get into. Just getting into the community itself is a really wonderful thing. And there's a lot of support, fellow authors there, and a great place to be, just to have a sense of, that you're in this with other people, this journey of writing and all of that. So yeah, I did have a great time reading those 4 books. I actually audiobooked all 4 of them. And I love them all. It's very hard to rank these champions because they all are deserving champions for sure. And I also had on the channel a discussion with Abel Montero, who is an author, but also a translator, and he has translated The Way of Adan into Italian, which was a wonderful conversation with Abel. Lots of insights, and if you've never read The Way of Adan, it's okay. There are no spoilers there. Even if you have no intention of reading it, but you're just interested in a conversation about translation, that was a lot of fun to chat with Abel. We had some great insights emerging from that discussion about the act of translation and the difficulties involved. The act and the art of translation, I should say, really. But it was a really, I enjoyed chatting with Abel, just a wonderful person as well. But I'm excited that The Way of Adan, coming out on March 21st, by the way, La Via di Adan, I hope that was better, Abel, in Italian is going to be, out there in the world. So I'm really happy about that. And what am I reading? Well, of course, I am reading One Piece. It's been a little while, but I am now reading Wano. Before that, though, I did do some prep. The professor had been given some homework assignments by some of these wonderful viewers who are actually very helpful. You guys have been so helpful to me on this whole journey, really. And that includes the advice to read up on some aspects of Japanese culture in order to fully understand what Oda is up to in Wano, which really does lean much more on Japanese culture than all the previous arcs in One Piece. And so I read about the 47 Ronin and about the Bushido, and I read about the origins of the Shinto gods, and or the kami as they're called. And then there was the tale of the Peach Boy or Momotaro. I read a lot about Japanese history and more, really just a lot of stuff. And I'll probably talk about the stuff that I read as I go through these 3 acts of Wano. I'm going to do 1 act at a time. And the release of the video on Act 1 of Wano should be, I would say, in a week or so. I'm guessing. Let's see how it goes. I have been very busy. It's the busy part of the semester. But I'm just about done reading Act 1, and by the time you see this, probably I'll even be done reading Act 1, and I will be putting my thoughts together. And it's pretty short, actually. Act 1 is not that many chapters, so I should be able to put together a video relatively quickly, and then move on to Act 2 and 3. So yeah, I'm very excited. I continue to just thoroughly enjoy One Piece as my happy place. And I'm so excited to creeping closer to being current in the series, which is really exciting to me. And I do intend, once I do become current, to continue reading and maybe doing some live streams. I'm thinking maybe live streams to just be there with all the other people who are current and that sort of thing. So we'll see. I have various ideas for when that happens next year, when I do catch up. In terms of my audiobooks, I am currently with Reign and Ruin, which is another SPFBO champion. And I'm not the target audience, to be quite honest. This is a romantasy, kind of, I guess I would categorize it as that. But as I said, every time I judge these books, I put aside my personal biases, and to the extent that I can, and I try to judge a book on what the author was trying to do with it. And I must say that Reign and Ruin is a very effective romantasy. So I will be reviewing it, of course, with the other 2 final SPFBO champions, and those are going to be Small Miracles, which I'm told is by Olivia Atwater. I think it's a cozy fantasy, perhaps, maybe. The cover does give that vibe, I think, of a cozy fantasy. There's a kind of a cupcake there. And then the other one is Where Loyalties Lie by Rob Hayes, and I'm looking forward to this very much. He's an author that I've seen his books around, and I think he leans a bit toward grimdark, that kind of thing. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this one very much. And that will finish it. Those are my last two official reads for SPFBO. And I will rank the three. I'm actually just about done with Reign and Ruin. Just a couple hours left of listening. And once I finish those two in December, yeah, I will be putting up my final SPFBO video with all those rankings. And I finished reading, boom, No Life Forsaken by my favorite author of all time, Steven Erikson. This, if you haven't heard of it, is the continuation of the Witness series. It was originally going to be the Witness trilogy, but I believe that Erikson is pretty sure it's actually going to be at least 4 books now. So we'll see, but this is the second tale of Witness. And this is a sequel series to the Malazan Book of the Fallen. This series takes place after the Malazan Book of the Fallen. And this one, the first book in the Witness series, The God Is Not Willing, took place in Genebakis, but now we're in 7 cities. Totally different continent. Geez, have we seen Mr. Erikson do that before? So he is up to his usual hijinks here. In fact, I found that he leaned a lot on his humor. There's a lot of Malazan humor in this, much more than in most of the book. Now, it's present in all of the books in the Malazan world by both Erikson and Esselmont, but I found that No Life Forsaken leans much more on the comedy, the humor, with the exception of the Boccaline and Corbel Broach books, which are total satire and humor. But there is some satire in here. There's some very timely satire in here. And also, I found it a very engaging story as well, with some beautiful insights on how we deal with suffering, how life isn't fair, That's something my mother used to tell me all the time when I was protesting some, decision or other, and it would say, that's not fair. My mother would always say, well, life's not fair. So, it was a really great, profound read. I'm not going to say too much on No Life Forsaken now, though, because I'm going to be, I hope, in a couple of discussions. I reached out to the Nemesis himself, a critical dragon, and asked if he would like to chat with me. He is, of course, the advanced reader for Steven Erikson and Esselmont, so he's read it, but it's been a while, so I think he needs to refresh with a second read. So I was hoping to host a discussion with him on my channel. And also, I'm going to be appearing at some point on Alan's channel, the Library of Alexandria, the same dude who narrated the Adan trilogy. But he is inviting me and a few other people to discuss No Life Forsaken. I think soon. I haven't heard yet. Alan, when are we doing this? So we'll find out soon when that is happening. But I love the book, and I think I have a slight preference for The God Is Not Willing over No Life Forsaken, because The God Is Not Willing just had a bigger emotional impact on me, and I don't think that's what Steven Erikson was going for so much. As I said, I think he was leaning more on the comedy, the satire in No Life Forsaken, but a couple really wonderful new characters. So Shamal is a new favorite for me, for example, if you've read the book. So yeah, moving on. What am I currently reading? I am currently reading Titus Groan, the first book in the Gormenghast trilogy. And I am blown away. First of all, a lot of people had told me that the prose in here was something to be savored, and they were not wrong. This is fantastic prose. Mervyn Peake was a master of writing, of the genre, of fantasy, the Gothic, if you will. This is highly atmospheric. The way I've been describing this to people is it's Dickens meets Studio Ghibli, or Ghibli if you prefer the Italian pronunciation. But it's just fantastically weird and eccentric. I've enjoyed meeting this crazy cast of characters, and in terms of themes, there's a lot about class in here, actually. If you look beneath that atmosphere and the eccentricities of the characters, I think there are some not so subtle messages about class and the consequences of a noble class that is aloof from people, but also what it does to the life of a person who grows up in a working class, among the working class. So there's some of that in there too, but mostly it's just really atmospheric and eccentric. As far as the plot goes, it's not a fast-paced book at all. It is not a plot-driven book. There is a plot, but it is fairly glacial. So if you're looking for a pulse pounder, this is not it. This is one you steep yourself in and you appreciate and you reread sentences to say, now that is actually quite magnificent what he did there with those words. But it is not one that zooms by any means. But Mervyn Peake was a very gifted writer for sure. I will be discussing the Titus Groan and the other two books in the trilogy with Jay over at the Contemplative Reader, or A Contemplative Reader. And we have that scheduled actually, so that video will be out within the next week or two. After I finish, I'm actually more than 3/4 through Titus Groan, and once I finish that, I'm going to pick up The Summer Tree, the first book in the Fionavar Tapestry by Gavriel Kay. This is the next book that I'm reading in my great GGK read. I'm reading through every single book that Gavriel Kay has published. I have them all now on my shelf back there, all 16 books. And I am so excited because I reread Tigana and discussed it with Evan from The Nerd Writer recently and adored it even more. It was something, again, I read a long time ago and reread it and can't believe just why did I stay away so long from Gavriel Kay's prose? Speaking of brilliant prose, yeah, right here. So I loved Tigana, and I expect to love everything he's written. And this is obviously one of his earlier books. So now we're going in chronological order. I'll be continuing to chat with Evan from The Nerd Writer about all of the books. That's what our plan is, to go in order of publication. And we'll be joined here and there by various people who I have reached out to. And P.L. Stewart is going to be joining us for the Fionavar Tapestry. So I'm really excited about that. And he is just a wonderful human being and a great friend. And I'm so glad he's going to be joining us. And other people are going to be joining us for later books. So that is a big thing that's going to be happening for me next year, is my continuing the great GGK read. Probably will get through most of the books next year, but it may even verge into 2027 a little bit because there are 16 of them. I think we'll be doing one a month, basically. So with Tigana down and The Summer Tree down this year, that leaves 14. So yeah, we may spill over into 2027 a bit. And then I'm going to be picking up The Last Coyote by Michael Connolly. This is, it may feel out of nowhere for yours truly, but it is actually a Quill Illuminati read. I'll be joining my buddies, Mike from Mike's Book Reviews, Brian from BellTube, and John from Talking Story. And this was a pick by Brian, actually, the Grand Poobah himself, the founder of the Quill Illuminati. And I have really no idea what to expect. I think it's a mystery or something like that, The Last Coyote. But looks like it's a page turner. So we'll see what I make of it. I feel like I'm going to be the least well-equipped to read this among the four of us, Quill Illuminati, because I haven't read a lot of these modern thriller-type books, if that's what this is. But I'm looking forward to it, because I always love chatting with those three good friends of mine here on BookTube. So yeah, that's what I'm up to in terms of my reading, and of course I will be chatting with, besides the Quill Illuminati, some other people in the imminent future. I'll let you know as those discussions happen. I'll have some DDF episodes lined up pretty soon. I'm overdue to schedule some of those, but yeah, it's a busy part of the year, but soon I will be more free to dive back into my reading and all my chatting around here. But in the meantime, thank you so much for your support, for being here. But that is it for me for now. Until next time.